Let's keep going and continue the conversation about how we go from good to better. A common piece of advice we give is to have teams focus on leading indicators, not just the lagging ones. I like leading indicators because they give us signals earlier in the process, right? Within week 2, 3, or 4 that things are going wrong. And when we get those signals, it allows us to change course, to change our strategy and readjust. Because one of the worst things that can happen is that we spend all this effort for an entire quarter, and only when we find out when we grade and score that we could have done something earlier. For example, one of our KRs might be around revenue, and that's a lagging indicator, but we want to track it because it's important to us. But we also want to include some leading ones, and so in the case of our sales process, we likely have some sophisticated qualifications going on, right? We're signing MOUs, we're setting up important meetings. Are any of those good signals for us? And if they are, let's add them as our key results. Another piece of advice, and there's a good section in the book on this, is around pairing quantity key results with quality key results. OKRs are very quantitative, and to quote Andy Grove, a key result has to be measurable. And in pursuit of those measures, we need to safeguard quality. And so what we do is we pair a quantity key result with a quality key result, and one acts as the counterbalance to the other. For example, we may have a key result to track the number of pounds of food composted in our cafeteria. That's a quantity key result. So to pair it with a quality one is we should make sure we insert a key result around limiting food waste. Another example is a key result that says we're trying to produce 10,000 parts for a particular machine. Well, that's a quantity key result, so we got to pair it with a quality one. And in this case, maybe it's to keep the defect rate down. Quantity result paired with a quality one. A question we often get is, what should my target be? And calling an OKR committed, aspirational, or learning is how we draw the finish line. For a committed OKR, there's no room for falling short. For an aspirational one, stretching is achieving. And for a learning one, we're in a mode of exploration. The specific targets you set are going to shape how your team executes. And so for some targets, they're going to be incremental, and they're going to push your team to improve on the things that are working today. Or you may set a target that's a leap. And when that happens, your team often tries something new. But then there might be a case where you're going to ask your team to hold and pick a target that's more of the same. And when you do that, it's likely because the progress that it took to make it to where we are today was really hard. And what we need to prove to ourselves is that we can hold it and continue it. For example, let's imagine we're responsible for designing a new car engine, and that car engine today performs at 35 miles per gallon. For us as a team, we're going to set this new target, and if we have a sliding scale, it could be 35, 40, 50, 60, maybe 100 or even 150 miles per gallon. As we move along this sliding scale, it's going to force our team to do different things. We could hold at 35 because it's really about improving the weight of the engine and other parts of the car. We could push ourselves to say it's maybe a new target of 40 or 45 or 50, and that's going to cause our team to try to find improvements. Or if we put out a target there to the team of 100 or 150, that's likely going to make them think and do radically new things. Different targets are going to require different tactics. There are so many layers to OKRs, and when we do this, we try to consider all of these things. And so we really encourage you to practice, to think about each of these different tips and best practices and mistakes, because when you apply them all in unison, we're pretty confident that you're going to have a great set of OKRs to work with and use with your team.